This is Grumpy SEO Guy, episode 128, Local SEO versus Regular SEO. You're listening to Grumpy SEO Guy, the SEO podcast that doesn't waste your time with nonsense that doesn't work. I'm the Grumpy SEO Guy, and I'm sharing with you the strategies that have helped me successfully run my SEO agency for the last 14 years. In this podcast, I'll be sharing my knowledge and experience, discussing tips and strategies, and trying to help you cut through the confusion that permeates this industry. If you listen to this podcast, you will know more about SEO than 99% of people on the planet. Ready? Let's get started. I'm the Grumpy SEO Guy. Let me tell you why I'm grumpy today. I'm grumpy today because some people are perplexed by the difference between local SEO and regular SEO. So in this episode, that's what we're going to talk about. But first, some reminders. New episodes come out on Wednesday, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. That's for the podcast. If you're listening on YouTube, it's going to be a little bit after that. If you leave a comment on YouTube, I try to reply on Wednesday, but sometimes it's not until Thursday. If you have a question, you can email me at hello@grumpyseoguy.com. If you'd like to support the podcast, you can do so at patreon.com/grumpyseoguy. If you have a question and you'd like to post it on Reddit, you can do that at reddit.com/r/grumpyseoguy. And if you have a complicated question and would like to set up a Zoom advisory call, you can email me at the email address that I provided, and we can talk about getting that scheduled. But before we do that, my lawyer tells me that I have to say this right now. A quick disclaimer before we get started. Everything I say here is based on my experience and opinion from 14 years in the industry. I don't officially know how Google or any other search engines work. Everything I say here is hypothetical and based on my experience. This podcast does not constitute advice or services. What worked for me may or may not work for you. Okay, back to the show. On to the episode. In this episode, we're going to talk about local SEO and regular SEO, and we're also going to talk about how to do both of them, okay? But it's going to be pretty brief because this is not a complicated episode. So let's start by explaining the difference. Did you ever search for something and see a map in the results, okay? And that map has addresses and businesses on it, okay? That is local SEO. So when you see a map, that is local SEO. If you do not see a map, it is not local SEO. So local SEO means map results, okay? And normal SEO means you're, okay, without a map, okay? So anyways, you can do local SEO and regular SEO, okay? Just to be clear, if you're in the map, it's local SEO, okay? And by the way, when you see results in a map, that's called a map pack. So let's talk very quickly about how to do them. Okay, so we're going to start by talking about normal SEO. Now, possibly you already know this from Grumpy SEO Guy, but in order to do normal SEO, in order to rank, there are 4 things you need. We're going to talk about them very briefly here. In order, 1, avoid penalties. Okay, if you get a penalty, you're not going to rank. So your highest priority is to avoid getting a penalty. Okay, it is to avoid having a penalty. By the way, we have an entire episode that talks about different kinds of penalties, and I will put a link in the description. So, okay, the second thing you need is content. All right, content does not help you rank just because it's good quality, okay? Content actually does 2 things on your site. One of them is it puts something on your site, okay? Because if you don't have content on your site, then you have an empty website, and that's not going to be useful for anybody. Number 2, it helps create relevancy, which is what we're going to talk about in a minute, okay? Quality of content is not a ranking factor. Good content ranks just as well as bad content. 3, relevancy. Relevancy means what is the subject of your website, okay? In order to rank for something, in order to rank for keywords, you have to be relevant for those keywords, okay? And number 4, you need authority. So authority comes from backlinks, okay? Authority is a measure of strength, trustworthiness, or power of your website, okay? So these 4 things are explained very completely in other episodes. So I will put links to those and you can listen to them and learn more. But just want to say this so that we know that there's a difference between normal SEO and local SEO. Okay, now let's talk about local SEO. So people will tell you that there are different numbers of things that you need for local SEO, and I'm going to tell you what they are, and then we're going to talk about why sometimes it's not the same, okay? It's just the way things are categorized. Anyways, let's get started. Number 1, the first thing you need to do local SEO is you need a Google My Business account, okay? You might have read this as GMB, okay? You need a Google My Business, okay? You need a Google My Business account. Now, let's talk about the reason local SEO is different from normal SEO, okay? A long time ago, so listen, actually local SEO is fairly new, okay? A long time ago, you could rank for locations by doing normal SEO. So what would happen is people would make lots of pages on their website, one for every city in the country, okay? And they would do normal SEO and they would rank for all of those keywords for all of those cities or whatever, right? And it was because there was only normal SEO. Now, here's the concern. Sometimes you would search for something and you'd see a result because remember, it was all normal SEO and the result would be for a company that's nowhere near you. That doesn't help anybody. So you can do local SEO so that your business is specific to a certain area and people searching in that area are likely to find you. So anyways, in order to do this, you need a Google My Business, okay? You have to have it. When you create this, they will mail you a postcard to verify that you have a business in the location that you say you have a business, okay? And there's different things you can do with your Google My Business account, but we're going to keep this episode short. So that's the only thing that we're going to talk about right now. You have to have a Google My Business to appear in the maps. Okay. So number 2, second thing you need, NAP, name, address, phone number. Number 2, you need NAP. Okay. What is NAP? What is name, address, phone number? Every time your business is mentioned on another website, it will list the business name, the address, and the phone number. These always have to be the same every time it's mentioned. So the name always has to be the same. Okay. The address always has to be the same, and the phone number always has to be the same. Okay. So try not to, spell anything differently or whatever. Just anyways. Okay. Number 3, citations. Okay. Now the reason that there's different numbers of things is because sometimes citations are classified the same as NAP. Okay. A citation is a mention of your business on another website. It is not necessarily a backlink. All right. So in order to rank in the local results, you need citations. Your business needs to be mentioned on other websites, okay? So, number 4, reviews. Did you ever notice that most of the businesses at the top of the local results have a lot of good reviews? All I'm going to tell you about this is make sure you are getting actual reviews. Number 5, proximity. Proximity means how close is stuff to something else. That's all it means. So here's how this works for local SEO. If people are searching for, your company or whatever, they are more likely to see you in the results if they are close to you. They are less likely to see you if they are further away from you, okay? And if you want to think about it a different way, if you are closer to the person doing the searching, they will probably see you, okay? And if you're further away, they will probably not see you, okay? That's what proximity means. Number 6, authority. You need to get backlinks. Same as with regular SEO. There's other factors involved, obviously with local SEO, but backlinks, they're still great. So anyways, those are the things that you need to do local SEO. Sometimes people email me and they ask me questions about local SEO. And there are 2 articles that I send most people who ask these questions. And I will put those articles in the description so you can, they're not really like giant articles. And I'll put them in the description so you can read them and learn more about local SEO. Anyways, I hope this episode was helpful. Let me know what questions you have. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you enjoy this podcast, please leave a review. It would really help the show out. I hope this episode was helpful. If you have any questions or want to suggest a subject for a future episode, you can contact me on Reddit. My username is Grumpy SEO Guy. You can visit the Grumpy SEO Guy subreddit, or you can email me at hello@grumpyseoguy.com. If you email me, please either whitelist my email address or check your junk folders, because I've been told that my replies are going into the junk folder, and it's probably because we're talking about things like SEO and backlinks, and I think those words will classify an email as spam. And if you want to support the podcast, because it's the best source of SEO information on the planet, and it's free, you can do so at patreon.com/grumpy SEO Guy. And I will talk to you later. You're listening to Grumpy SEO Guy, the SEO podcast that doesn't waste your time with nonsense that doesn't work. Join us next Wednesday for another episode.